Well, just talk about this move. How excited are you for the school, and if you don't mind going into a little about how it all came down?
Yeah, I mean, just right off the bat, we're thrilled. This is a significant day for DBU and for DBU baseball. But you can feel the energy on campus. Yesterday was move-in day on campus. Today we've got this exciting announcement, and so I think it's not hyperbole to say that this is just one of the most significant moments in our university's history. And so we're thrilled. We've gotten great feedback from our alumni, from parents of recruits, from recruits. So we're really excited. It's been in the works not too long. It's happened pretty quick, actually. But right now, I don't think anybody within collegiate athletics administration can really be too comfortable and can sit for too long. And so the landscape changes under our feet day by day, as so many people close to college athletics know. And so, it was a pretty quick progression, but we're thankful that it came out in the end, and we're thankful to, after this season, to have a new conference home, and really excited for our future.
Would you say you were hunting, or were you being sort of hunted by them, the conference itself, or was it kind of a mutual thing? How did that come about as far as who was chasing who's on that?
Well, I think every athletics administrator has to have their eye on the horizon. And like I said, I don't know if I would necessarily categorize it as that, but just, we're always trying to be hyper aware of what's happening in the conference. Conference USA has certainly had some additions over the past couple of years, and some member schools leave. But just in July, we found out that Louisiana Tech was leaving as well. So that was a pretty big shakeup to the league, and certainly to how we view our position as an affiliate member in the sport of baseball. So, for us, it wasn't, I don't know if you can draw the line at one moment, but just in college athletics today, you have to be keeping your eye on the ball, and it's a moving target. So it's a challenge, but we're thrilled.
You guys, your history speaks for itself. The competition level and being in the tournament every year. Do you anticipate a little tougher road getting to the regionals in this new conference?
Well, I think it's safe to say that we know it's going to be a challenge, but I think it's also safe to say that if we didn't think we could compete, we wouldn't have made the move. And so, I think two things can be true. We really expect to get in and to win, and if we didn't, we wouldn't have done it. But at the same time, you're going against two World Series winners in Oregon State and Fresno State, some programs that are really investing heavily in baseball. And so we're ready for a challenge, but we also are excited for the new opportunities that are going to arise out of this. This opens up the West Coast for recruiting. It certainly elevates the profile of DBU baseball to a more national audience. And so we're hopeful for some incredible players to come through this program in the years to come, in large part now due to this new market that's open. And of course, we play to win. So we're thrilled, and we love competition, and we're excited.
So as far as recruiting is concerned, you see it as a positive?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. We really view this as a step up in every way. And like I said, we're really tied now to some national brands. And so I think for any prospective student athlete, they're really looking for the holistic approach to a great program. And we've got incredible coaches that love our guys. They're at the top of the game. Dan Hefner is at the top of the game, and it's evident through his winning percentage. It's evident through the guys that have gone on to play, just the amount of postseason runs in the last 17 years. But also, our recruiting staff, Cale Johnson, our pitching coach, Tyler Johnson, our recruiting coordinator. We've got great staff. We've got an incredible facility that just continues to get better every single year. We've got an amazing institution that supports baseball. It's mission-driven, and we've not strayed from our mission of Christian faith and integration, so it's an incredible mission. And then now you add it to this, Power 5 conference, with the opportunity to really be a top 4 RPI conference. That's a really appealing recruiting pitch.
You've been here, you said 2015, right? When you first started?
Correct, yep.
Just talk about just yourself to see kind of the growth. It's been awesome since 2015. Would you just talk about be able to see the growth of the school and being able to grow as far as changing conferences on the way? Just how cool is that to be
Sure.
able to see how this is take place?
It really is an honor, and I don't use that word lightly. We're hoping that this move too will draw some folks in Dallas that have never been to DBU. We hope that it'll draw them to campus. We have people that come to DBU all the time that haven't been here in 10, 15, 20 years, and they just say, wow, this is changed exponentially. And really, since our chancellor, who came to DBU in 1988, he was president here for 28 years, it's unrecognizable. And then when Dr. Wright, who's been our president since 2016, even since he took over almost the last decade, it's just been so much growth, so much excitement. There's an energy on campus that you can feel. Certainly we attribute that to our Christian mission and the Holy Spirit, but I mean, there's growth happening. We just launched a massive public campaign for the new Carter School of Business. And so many exciting things to see on campus, and this almost just feels like the cherry on top. And so certainly as a former student athlete and a player on this baseball team, I mean, it's a dream come true. I grew up in Arizona watching the Arizona Wildcats play in the Pac-10. And so it's surreal for me, but it really just even more so, you have a sense of pride as an alum, seeing all throughout the years the continued growth and the support from the institution as well. So it's really an honor to be on this side of it.
Was the program feeling any pressures as far as NIL, the
Sure.
monies coming in, and how does this affect that, good or bad?
Sure. Yeah, NIL, institutional NIL, revenue sharing, I mean, certainly everybody in college athletics is feeling the pressure. And as a Division I sport, the sport of baseball, we've chosen to opt into the House settlement rules. And so, by doing that, we've raised our hand and said, yeah, we're going to play by these new rules. And so you're always feeling, I think, the external pressures. But at the end of the day, like I said earlier, I mean, we really are confident in the program that we have, the holistic approach to discipleship, to mentorship, and obviously to athletic prowess. I mean, we really feel like that with continued increased resources in institutional NIL, items like training table, those types of things, we really feel like we've got a spot in the future.
When you see all the, a couple years ago, you see the shift in all the conferences, I mean, it was just wild, everybody
Yep.
bounced around. You kind of pinch yourself a little bit that you guys ended up in the pack and how that all went down, and wondering whether or not you'd ever end up in something like the situation like you're in right now?
Yeah, it's always fun to look back and see how these things came to be, but we really were prayerful. I mean, candidly, that was, we tried to just be prayerful about the whole situation. We tried to always keep our eye on the horizon, and you're always asking yourself, what if? And certainly we've had an incredible stay in Conference USA, and, I'd like to thank Commissioner McLeod. I mean, she's been incredible. But like you said, just conferences at this time and in this day and age in college athletics just continue to change. And so, I don't know if there's been that pinch me moment yet. I think it might come in the spring of 2027 when our guys are out there on the field in their whites and have the Pac-12 symbol on it. And so I think that moment will probably come. We know that we have another year in Conference USA, which we're really looking forward to and want to take care of business this year as well. But certainly it's exciting and fun to look back at, but also really even more so exciting to look forward to what's ahead in our future.
Does it put any stresses on your budget as far as travel? I mean, there's a lot of moving pieces here. I mean, is it a good thing? Do you look at it as a positive?
Yeah, I mean, we felt like we've done our due diligence, and so we feel like this is all around an incredible opportunity for us. Certainly going to the West Coast is different than going to the East Coast, but in the Valley, we went all the way up through the Midwest, and so we've always had to travel to play, and so we're ready for the challenge to the West Coast, but Delaware is in Conference USA, and we're heading to Delaware. We went to Virginia and Lynchburg to play Liberty University last year. We've gone to Florida, so travel has always been a part of our DNA, but we're looking forward to going to the West Coast and playing some great teams.
Why is, you guys got quite a legacy. Why has it worked so well here? I mean, you don't have football, so the focus here as far as athletics is baseball, right? Why has it worked?
Yeah, well, that's a great question, and certainly, being as transparent and honest as possible, we really feel like it's the Lord. He's the foundation of this school, and this is his program. So certainly divine providence and wisdom and guidance play a role in everything that we do, and that's the foundation. But I think, if you build on top of that, we've had incredible support from our board of trustees, from our presidents. Quickly I found, 2 years ago going into this role, you can't do anything without a great president who's supportive of athletics. And so we've had two presidents over, the last 36 years who have really supported DBU baseball, even in times where, it was funding was in question or conferences were in question, Dr. Wright and Dr. Cook have been very supportive. And so an incredible administration and board of trustees. And then I would be remiss if I didn't mention Dan Hefner. We've had incredible coaches throughout the years, including Coach Harp and others, that really built the foundation for us in the NAIA days. But certainly since 2004 in our Division I era, Dan Hefner has been absolutely incredible. And what makes Dan so great is that he embodies our mission. And so that's what's allowed him to stay. That's what's been, something that certainly to our recruits, and speaking from experience, that's what makes you want to come and be a Patriot, is that faith-centered, that faith-based program. And so that's been the secret sauce, are those three things. And then I'll say this, holistically, you can't win without great players. And we have had incredible student athletes throughout the years, guys that have gone on to play the big leagues, but some of our best players have been guys that were never drafted and were incredible guys to build a program on. And so, we've just been really blessed by the Lord. We've had incredible administration, an incredible coach, and most importantly, incredible student athletes who have bought in. So it's when you put all those things together, it's a recipe for success.
I'm good with my level. You ready to get started?
Hey, I can do this all day. Yeah, I can do this all day. Yeah.